Gen C podcast. Welcome to the Gen C podcast. I am your host, JP Jackson, and today we have our very first guest. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rizan Rose.
Hi everyone. I'm Rizan Rose. Thank you so much, JP, for having me. I'm really excited.
Thank you for coming, man.
Nervous now. Immediately nervous. Quite excited.
But yeah, that's what happens when things start rolling, things start falling into place. So, tell us a bit about yourself. Tell us who you are, and specifically, where did Piccolo come from?
Okay. Wow. Immediately starting there.
Straight to the source.
So, so I'm, like I said, Rizan Rose, and myself and JP, we know each other from primary school. And even in primary school, I had like a billion nicknames. I don't know if you can see from this, I kind of look like Tupac. Kind of look like Kobe Bryant when you wore number 8. And in high school, especially, I used to have a very, very short haircut. A cheese cut, if you will. And one of the boys that went to primary school with me felt very comfortable in calling me Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z because of the short hair. So, not as fun of a story. I didn't like the nickname at first, but then it became Pickles. But like I said, I had a billion nicknames. So Piccolo was the one that I guess even the principal started calling me.
So the reason why I bring it up is because to this day, if I mention to you know Rizan, if someone tells me they went to Settlers, they don't know a Rizan.
Oh, no.
But I literally say, do you know Piccolo? And they have the exact image in their mind about who we're talking about. That's why the name for me seems to be carrying more
weight.
More recognition than Rizan.
I'll take it. I guess it's my path to fame. I'll take it. I mean, I do like Emo Adams more. It was the nickname that, I don't know, people and their mother used to come up to me. Are you family of the Adams? Are you emo?
And the Muslim wasn't in.
People can't see that I'm Muslim.
When you wear the kufiya, then obviously.
To an extent, I guess. Yeah.
And then so one thing that really attracts me in terms of our friendship is just the energy you give off.
Oof.
So whenever I'm around you, I just feel so much better and so much more excited about the energy you kind of feed off.
JP.
So what about that? How do you make yourself, or how do you always give that sort of energy out? Because it seems like it comes naturally to you, and I receive it in such a positive way. So not everybody has that. So I just wanted to know, how do you act? Do you actually just are you a happy person? Is there things you do in your life that allows you to cultivate this energy?
I don't know. I never really thought about it. I am extroverted. And yeah, I have not thought about why I'm so comfortable around you, but I think we get along because we have similar sort of interests. I think that's it. Immediately we know, okay, we both like sports, we both into whatever we are into. In subscribe to find out.
Love the
plug. But yeah, I don't for me, if I meet someone new, I always feel, I somehow feel comfortable in the presence of someone new because they don't know me. So I get to be whoever I want to be, whereas people that know me, they're comfortable around me. So it's also easier to be. But I do get sad and in my feelings are just, I don't know.
So now, that's also something that I just wanted to maybe touch on, is that, like you said, you get sad in your feelings at times. Yet you are an extroverted person and gives off such a positive energy. How do the two marry each other? And then how did you overcome that? Or how do you deal with it? Or what's the building blocks to deal with it?
So, like, I knew this question was coming, but I'm still not ready for it. I'm never gonna be ready for it.
But do you understand the different
A
dynamics?
sort of dichotomy.
Oh wow!
You know,
you see, my millennials I don't have access to the Google Drive. But basically, when people understand an extrovert, they don't think that the extrovert has necessarily feelings to deal with.
Yeah.
Because all they're seeing is just positive energy.
Yeah.
However, all extroverts also have feelings, and which they deal with not necessarily in the same manner as everybody else, but in their own time. So then, how do we balance the two?
So okay, so I refer to these sort of complex emotions as my demons.
Ooh.
So I suffer from anxiety. I do get quite depressed at times, loneliness, and then emptiness is a big one. And I think what it is the why I have this energy towards people is that I don't want to sort of like leak that negativity onto someone else. So I do, I guess, try and be as positive, as forthcoming, as approachable as possible. And I work with people. So people don't want, because everyone's suffering with something, so everyone's going through something. They don't want their problems to also be carried on for so long. So as long as people are with me, there's like just that positive energy, you know, for that time being. And I'll be driving, I'm like, just so that I don't have to, you know, that, because you feel what you feel. Like, a lot of people will tell you that this sort of facade of being happy, but I am happy when I'm around people because I, you know, allow my emotions to sort of exit with screaming, poetry, exercise, you know, whatever I need to get rid of that sort of negativity.
Wholesome human being.
Wow. Wow. Thanks. You have the similar energy. How do you deal with it? How do you sort of
so same
cope?
thing. So people always think that I'm just a positive person and don't necessarily have lows, but I also have lows.
Yeah.
And the way I deal with lows is, like you said, either through exercise, through seeing my friends. For me, social connection is something that actually brings me back up. It fills that tank, so to speak. And obviously, I've spoken about this before on the pod, but just in terms of having my spiritual tank also filled up.
Oh,
my love tank in terms of my relationship with my wife, and then my friends tank. And then also being able to move and doing the exercise at some point. That kind of, those 4 pillars is what keeps me kind of in balance. And as soon as, like, especially with lockdown, when I don't see friends, then I feel tired, or I feel more towards myself, which isn't me by my nature. But I started realizing that part of my life actually needs to be more replenished, and working on that. And then that's how I know that I need to now start working on these things. And like you said, it's not going to come just by being. You're going to have to actively start doing something to kind of manage those two. But that's why I thought you would be the perfect first guest in terms of just the energy you bring and how we can, as a community, recognize that we have these things that we deal with and it's normal.
Yeah. I actually, so I grew up, I have 4 brothers, and my mom's the only sort of woman in the house. And so there's not really like a culture to sort of express yourself and talk about feelings. And then I think when I was 2010, grade 10, my grandmother passed away. My dad lost his job. It was that whole housing crisis, recession. There was just so much going on. And you sort of have all this sort of like, it was a tough time. And I never got to sort of talk about it. And I remember in 2011, when I was grade 11, I pulled my mom to the side, and I told her, Mom, I don't like that I can't talk to you. And I think once I did that, I realized that everybody needs somebody to just make sense of what has happened, what you're going through. And I know growing up as a colored person, there's so many things that we just don't talk about. We're not allowed to sort of mention.
Exactly.
And I don't know, like, why I decided to just like open up and tell mom, listen, I need to be able to speak to you. Because colored parents, they take offense.
Yeah.
If you are sad,
you got a roof on your head.
That's the one.
That's
the one. They take offense if you have like, why are you sad? Trek jou gesig reg. That's the line. Or I'll give you something to cry about. Yo, wow, trigger warning. The trauma is coming through. JP, what is this? What have you done, sir?
Loading.
But like, okay, so I know this isn't my platform. I want to ask you, how's your relationship with your parents and being able to speak to them about complicated things, if you will?
To your surprise, it was non-existent.
Okay.
So I never had a space to discuss that with my parents. I never had a space to talk about how I was feeling about a certain way.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't something we ever spoke about. It was always a case of, you've got food on the table, you are supposedly healthy, like can't you fit, like all that, like you are healthy, you're doing well, but also in that element, in my school years and in my varsity years, I never had a dip in performance.
Yeah, we overachieved. No. We overachieved.
So there was never a trigger in my parents' mind that, listen, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
And he's doing well. So certainly I must be doing everything right. So there was never this space until Kelly came and told me, listen here, your daddy cheated on your mommy. Why are you not feeling anything about this? and like I was saying, like I described, is that sort of breaking down of those emotions and trying to figure out how your superhero crumbled in front of you is was like a light switch moment for me, in terms of and also maybe led to this moment right here.
Yeah.
It's just that we never have this conversation.
Wow.
We never talk about these things that we go through and just kick off or roll on because the previous generation didn't know how to deal with it. The current generation is fully woke. I don't want to talk about Alice.
That's like,
and it's just a missing dynamic between the two. And that's, like you said, in my household, we never spoke about feelings. We never said this is how I felt about it, because it was never meant to be they never made it that space.
Yeah. And
it's kind of what I would like to carry on in beyond my friendship circle, because I want my friendship circle to be comfortable to tell me I don't like this. Why is this happening? And then create that open dialogue, because that formulates a healthy relationship.
You also have just brothers, eh?
Just brothers.
Youngest there's of three. Youngest of four.
Youngest of three.
There's a correlation.
There's a correlation.
All boys, no talk. And like, I didn't expect to bring this up, but I also have a whole like sister that my dad produced outside of wedlock. So like, do we have the same life? What's going on? Do we have, and I also never like sat my parents down and explained like, what is that about? Obviously now you know that like people cheat because of whatever reason they have. You don't agree with but you have like that moment of weakness. But it's like, if I didn't grow up, and I would have been in a space where I would have judged my dad and resented him. Like, how could you cheat on my mom?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No, but exactly. And what you find is that there's actually aunties and uncles that knew the story from way back then. And now you don't talk to those people because there was a cutoff, or there was no one spoke about that. They just let it go.
Yeah. I think one of the lessons for me is that we aren't our mistakes. Our mistakes don't define us. And I do think like, yes, my dad made that mistake, but the fact that they stuck together, or the fact that they just, made such a slight flex. Slight flex. But they did a good job of raising me.
Yes.
And I think let's focus on that. And so we do get lost in trying to focus on the positive. We do need to address the mistake. But there's you have to choose how you want to live.
Yes.
Are you gonna sort of focus on that sort of mistake? Are you gonna try and move beyond it and grow as a person? And
Amazing.
I think one of the things that we grew up with is that the aunties especially, they love focusing on the mistakes.
The fitna. They love focusing on the fitna.
Like, oh, you have a uncle that did this. You used to steal here. They will just remember that for all time.
For all time. But I think that's actually a great way, I think, to end this pod.
Okay.
This episode 1. I think it was amazing. It was everything that I envisioned. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on.
Thank you. Let's do this again.
Yeah, definitely. And we can talk about other things as well. But like, share, subscribe, do all the socials. Comment on what you thought the best part of this conversation was. And if you have any pointers, please feel free to put it down. So that's the end. And we out. Peace.
Bye, everyone.